Toby, welcome to the Oldtown Football Club, and Terry, you must be delighted with the work you've done here to get a first professional deal through.
Yeah, I think with everything that's gone on and with the pandemic, obviously us not getting promoted last year, and there was a lot of sad and tough news that came out from the academy, especially with the foundation and the youth phase, that that we could have something as a real positive that come out with the signing of Toby. He played in the under-18s all last season, where he was playing a year up, and he really excelled. And he was one of the players that when I was there with the manager and we were both watching, he stood out. So for us, it was a no-brainer in giving him that opportunity, and he's already had quite a lot of first-team experience with training, along with Alfie Lloyd, and we thought it was right to put him on a pro contract.
Toby, for yourself, how excited are you to sign your first deal?
Very happy. I've been coming here quite a lot, watching them from a young age, and I was delighted to hear the news.
So say as a local lad, how important is it for you to be signing on for your local club?
It's very good. I know my dad was really happy, and there's a lot of credit that needs to be given to him as well.
Terry, for yourself, how important is it for players to understand the importance of playing for the Oldtown and being local? Does it add to that?
I think very much so. I think there's stories of the local players that we've lost out on over the years, people like Martin Craney, Ryan Seeger first time round, where the good players from local have gone to your Southamptons, your Bristol Cities, your Plymouths. So for us to be able to sign Toby, as I said before, a lot of credit has to go to his father, Paul, because of the contract situation and what we was offering Toby to start with. There was a lot of other suitors, I'm not going to mention clubs, but there was a lot of league clubs that was sniffing around Toby and Paul, and being a local lad, I think it was really important that we outlined what we was going to offer. We had quite a number of conversations with your father, didn't we? And Toby was really excited about the project that the manager and myself had come up with for him, which was like an accelerated apprenticeship scheme. And his father was fully on board with it, and he stood strong against the league clubs. And I think credit's got to go to both of them, because they saw their pathway and the journey towards the first team being with Yeovil Town.
Toby, as a player, what do you think you bring on the pitch?
I think good technically on the ball, got a lot of composure, and then I give my all in every game.
What do you see the kind of plan for Toby now over the next 2 years?
Yeah, I mean he still plays on a Saturday with the youth team. He's just been out injured, but our plan for him was to have 1 to 2 days contact time with the first team, so that he's always in that environment where he is like a pro. He's training with the professionals, and we feel his development will come with that day-to-day contact with the first team, rather than always being with the youth team. So it's making sure that he gets his game time, his contact time with the first team, and then when he starts to progress, we may look at a loan later on. And that's been quite a good way that we've got players into the first team. People like Gabby Rogers, that's done really well. Our young pro Alex John, all have come through the youth team and gone through that same journey. Gabby went to, I think it was Salisbury, and Alex John went to, I think it was Hull and Gospel. So we feel that, obviously because we haven't got a 23s team, we feel getting them out on loan, getting them experience in men's football, and then that, when they come back, it's like them training at altitude, so that when they do come back to the level, they're ready then to progress into the first team. And Gabby Rogers is a major part of that by being the forefront of that journey.
You mentioned Gabby there, of him scoring at the weekend, and now Toby signing his pro deal. Is that a validation of the good work the club's doing?
Yes, in real tough circumstances as well. We've still got players that are in our college scheme that we couldn't offer scholarships to. People like Max Fahy, Corbridge. There's 3 or 4 of them boys that are like scholars. And once they get into their end of their first year, into their second year, then they'll be starting to come across with the first team as well. There's been some real outstanding performances with the youth team from the college players, and the manager's always asking who is he, so that they've got the same chance of becoming pros as what our second year scholars are.